Today I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Nike Free range of shoes. Put a little blog up this morning on the Running Technique channel about the potential benefits for running technique, and also specifically around strengthening muscles in the feet and the lower legs, which the Nike Free is claimed to do. So it's probably pretty easy to dismiss the Free as a bit of really good marketing spin from Nike. But I think there's a little bit more going on than just a good looking shoe that you can wear around the gym. It's actually something that is of quite a bit of benefit in the running. And as I alluded to in the blog, the Free actually does help to strengthen up some muscles in the lower leg and feet. So if I'll just draw up what I'm talking about. So if we look at the lower leg, there's a series of three muscles that sit in the lower compartment of the calf here. The most well known of those is the tibialis posterior, because that's often the one that ends up causing you a bit of problems with shin soreness. And those muscles actually end up winding as tendons underneath the foot and the toes. So what happens with regular shoes is that there's actually quite a stiff plate in the shoe, and I'll just grab one of my runners. So even something like the Adizero Adios, which is not the stiffest shoe going around, but it still actually has some plastic plates through here that actually make it a little bit stiff and a little bit hard to bend as you go that way. There's certainly shoes that are far stiffer than this, and your regular trainers definitely would fall into that category. When we pick up something like the Nike Free, and this is a well-loved pair of mine, Free 5s that I've been running in, you can literally just bend those like they're nothing and fold them in half. So there's virtually no stiffness in the sole itself. And what that means is these little plantar flexor muscles in the lower leg, when you're wearing the Free, have to work a bit harder to create this solid, stable and springy platform in the foot. That means these muscles here work harder, as well as the teeny little muscles in the foot there. So that's where you kind of get the strengthening in the feet and the lower calves from wearing the Frees. Now obviously you've got to be a bit careful if you're not used to wearing that kind of thing, so you just ease in quite slowly, and I'll put some guidelines around that on the website, so check those out. In terms of general usage, they're really quite comfortable after you get used to them, and they're also a lot more durable than you might initially think. These ones have probably done something in the order of about 600 or 700 kilometres, and they've been everywhere. They go out onto trails, in the forest, on the road, on the footpath, pretty much anywhere you can think of. One of the drawbacks with them, and this really flexible groove design underneath, is they do tend to catch quite a few rocks, but you know, worst case scenario, you might have to pull up during your run and just pluck it through a few of the bigger ones out. Maybe use that as a chance to just have a stretch and reset your technique while you're doing that. You have to be a little bit careful if you've got a lot of sharp, pointy kind of rocks that you're running over. Sometimes some of those can just slip through the grooves and give you a bit of a poke underneath the foot. And I've had a few of those, and as luck would have it, they usually end up in the same spot. So you've got to look out for that. So this is the Free 5. Been doing quite a bit of running in that, probably at least 1 or 2 runs a week. I've also started using, in the last 4 months or so, the Free 3, which is a little bit lower profile than the 5, but you can kind of see it's not a massive difference. And it's probably fairly similar to the Adios shoe that I held up a moment ago. So it's probably a good idea to start out with something like the 5 and then move, graduate your way down to the 3 as you get a bit more used to it. So this shoe here is fine once you get into it for longer runs. So I've probably taken this out for runs as long as about 18 Ks, and it's not too bad. I don't sort of tend to suffer too many ill effects from that, but that's definitely after getting used to it, so you need to be a little bit cautious with that. So just a last and final word of caution on the Frees. If your running technique has you hitting the ground with your leg out the front of your body and with quite a vicious heel-toe action, then you might find the free doesn't have enough cushioning to support you in that case. So if that was happening, then I'd recommend probably looking at the free for wearing in the gym and walking around initially to start strengthening up those foot muscles that I mentioned. And if you begin to start trying to bring your technique back a little bit more towards your body so that your foot's moving back towards your body before it hit the ground, improving your technique there, tightening things up, then it might be a good idea to start looking at the free at that point. So there you go, there's a little bit more about Nike Free.